Hey, this is Dow Too Fast here, and in this video I will talk about a couple of lenses I've purchased for my DSLR camera. And right now I'm using a Nikon D5200 camera, and some of these lenses are new and some of them are used, but I'm on a budget, so I can't buy whatever I want. I have to look at the funds I have and what kind of needs I have for the photos I take. So let me go over the lens you see here, and I'll explain why I purchased these lenses. Now on the left here is your regular 18 to 55 kit lens that most of you have, and 18 to 55 being that the 18 is your wide angle and 55 is your zoomed in range. And the zoom in range is not very big, obviously, 55 millimeter. It takes decent photos, and I think if you're starting out, this is a great lens to just snap away, take as many pictures as you want, but you'll quickly realize that it does have its limits, and once you get really comfortable with taking pictures, you might want to start looking at other lenses to allow you to take other type of pictures. Now the first lens I purchased for my DSLR is this Sigma 18 to 200 millimeter lens. This is a 3.5 to 6.3, and it does have vibration reduction, what they call it the optical stabilizer on this lens, and it retailed for $350. I bought this brand new and I paid full retail price on it, and it does a good job. It does have a very good zoom range, being the telephoto side is 200 millimeter. It has a locking switch so that when you lock it down, it'll prevent the lens from opening and creeping, they call it. So when you're not using the zoom, you can lock it down so you can't open the zoom on this. And it has a manual autofocus switch, has the optical stabilizer on and off switch. So this one, I bought this a couple years ago, and I take it out to take some photos of my kids playing soccer. The zoom in is good. It's a little soft on the 200 millimeter, but that's pretty typical of most of your 18 to 200 type of lens. Now Nikon do make their own 18 to 200. They do cost a lot more. Nikon's 18 to 200 has two different model. One is the VR, regular VR, which costs $650 retail, and the other one is a VR2, which came out a few years ago, has a better vibration reduction, and that one retail for $850. Again, this one brand new retails $350, and so it's a good, as far as performance compared to price, it's a decent lens to get. Now you may be able to find this on eBay, a used one for say around $200, which is not too bad for being an 18 to 200 millimeter lens. The next lens I bought is this one here, is a Nikon 35 millimeter 1.8, and the reason I bought this lens is because I really want to get a lens that can take some really good portrait shots of my kids. And being the 1.8, it means that the opening, the aperture, opens very wide, and when it does that, you'll get this effect where they call it shallow depth of field. And the shallow depth of field means that the subject that you're taking a picture of is sharp in focus, but the background is blurred. So when you look at a picture, it draws the attention directly on the subject, and it creates this really nice effect. And this lens I actually bought used, and I got it off eBay, and I looked a long time, for probably a month or so, just checking daily to see if there's some good deals. And retail, this lens cost around $200 to $220. I bought this for $140. It was a buy it now. It was a great deal. I bought it right away before somebody got to it. But a lot of times the used price typically on eBay is $170 to $180 for this lens, and again I bought it for $140, which is an awesome deal. So this is the lens I use for portraits. Now next to the 35mm lens, this is the newest lens I bought. This is the Nikon 18 to 105mm, and the reason I bought this 18 to 105 is because I wanted something that has more higher zoom than your regular 18 to 55, but is not as bulky as the 18 to 200. And this one is more in between, is 18 to 105, so it gives you a good amount of zoom, and also gives you the ability to take 18mm photos, which is the wide angle type of pictures. And this lens have the auto and manual mode, also has a vibration reduction. And the cool thing about this lens is that even if you have it on auto focus, the focus ring can still be used. So you can at any time use a manual focus. And of course, being the 18 to 105, you can zoom in, zoom out. Comes with a lens hood. And this lens has been my favorite lens so far. It's a compromise between the kit lens and the 18 to 200mm. Now the only thing is that if you start reading reviews on this 18 to 105 lens, you'll see that a lot of people complain about the mount being plastic. What people will talk about is that if your camera ever gets dropped with this lens attached, this, they call it bayonet, or the mounting ring, will break off. You can send it into Nikon, get it replaced, or even on YouTube there are some people that show you how to replace the mounting ring. Now I bought this lens on eBay. This is a used lens. It's in great condition. It's like brand new, and I bought it for $160, and retail this one actually cost about $400, brand new retail price. And I got a very good deal. I looked a long time on eBay, and finally I found this person selling it for a very good price, and I got it. So now if you are going to go on eBay and look around, what you'll find is that with people bidding on it, it'll probably go up to around $190 to $200. That's the average going price for this lens used. So I just want to let you know that. Okay. The next thing I want to show you is the weight of these lenses, because some of you might want to know how heavy these lenses are. So let me start off with the 18 to 55mm kit lens, and if I weigh it, it's 10.4 ounce for this lens. The next one is the Sigma 18 to 200. This 18 to 200 Sigma lens is 1 pound 7.8 ounce. Now the next one I'll bring up is actually the 18 to 105, just to give you an idea between the 18 to 200 compared to this 18 to 105, and this one is 1 pound 0.6 ounce. And lastly, it will be this Nikon 35mm, and this measures 8.4 ounce. So that'll give you an idea the weight of these lenses, because one thing you'll notice is that if you put on the 18 to 200mm lens after a day of shooting, you'll get tired. You'll get a bit tired. So be aware of that. But of course, being the 18 to 200, you can take all sorts of pictures with the long reach. So these are the 4 lenses I use on a regular basis. It works for me. It works for my budget, and I'm happy with them. Now, if you watch a lot of YouTube videos, there are tons of videos out there talking about this lens or that lens, which one's better, which one is not so good. Also depends on the budget you have, so everybody's a little different. Just keep that in mind. But again, these work for me. And to recap is, you know, on the left here I do have the 18 to 55mm lens. I think it's a good lens to start off with. Take a lot of pictures with this lens, get used to the camera, and then you'll realize quickly what limits you have with this lens. And then if you want an all around lens that can cover from wide angle to more of a telephoto type of pictures, the 18 to 200 millimeter lens. It's a good lens, and depending on your budget, you can go with a Nikon 18 to 200, or you can go with a Sigma one. Now, the next lens that I think is a great lens to have is the 18 to 105. It's more of a compromise between these two lenses. Some people say that the image is not so great. I have been very happy with the type of pictures this takes. So I'm very happy with this 18 to 105 millimeter lens from Nikon. And lastly is this one here. This is the 35 millimeter lens, and being a 1.8 on the aperture, it takes great portrait pictures, has a shallow depth of field, so it really makes your subject pop when you take a picture. I want to end this video with some sample photos I took with these lenses, so you kind of get an idea what it can do. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment. If you like the video, please subscribe. Thank you.